Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about the jump from AI that just talks to AI that actually acts. We're moving way beyond simple chatbots to build autonomous agents that can think, plan, and get things done in the real world. So let's dive in.
Look, a lot of us use large language models or LLMs for all sorts of things, answering questions, writing emails. But if that's all we're doing with them, we're kind of using a rocket ship to go to the grocery store. We're missing the huge, game-changing potential that's sitting right in front of us. And that huge leap forward is something called Agentic AI. This is where the LLM stops being just a text generator and becomes the actual brain of a system. A brain that can understand a complex problem, come up with a plan, and then use tools to actually solve it. So what is this brain, really? To get how an agent can think for itself, we've got to look under the hood at the engine that makes all of this possible. It really all begins with this, the transformer architecture. See, before this came along, AI models had to read a sentence one word at a time. The absolute breakthrough of the transformer was that it could look at the whole sentence at once, using this cool thing called self-attention to figure out how all the words relate to each other instantly. Then you have models like GPT that build on this idea. They're trained on a ridiculous amount of text from the internet, and they learn all the little patterns and nuances of human language. This is what lets them generate text that sounds so natural. It's basically just making a very, very educated guess about what word should come next. And that right there is the most important part. That amazing predictive power is what turns a simple language model into a reasoning engine. It's the cognitive core, the brain, that allows an agent to understand a goal and figure out the steps to get there. But a brain on its own isn't all that useful, right? It needs a way to interact with the world. For an AI agent, that means giving it a body, which is really just a set of tools to take action and a memory to learn from what it does. Coding is a fantastic example of this tool use in action. So imagine a developer tells an agent, hey, this JavaScript form is super janky. Can you fix it? The agent doesn't just give advice. No, it uses its tools to go into the code, write the correct validation, and actually push the fix itself. It does the work. And just like people, agents need a memory. They need short-term or session memory just to keep track of the current chat so you don't have to repeat yourself. They need long-term profile memory to remember things about you. And super importantly, they need access to domain knowledge, usually through a method called RAG, so they can pull in real-time factual information from outside sources. Okay, so what happens when a task is just too big or too complicated for one agent to handle all by itself? Well, that's when you graduate from a solo act to a full-on AI team. Just think about planning a big, complicated vacation. You've got to book flights, hotels, find good restaurants, plan activities. For one agent trying to juggle all of that, it's a total mess. It's going to get overwhelmed and fail. The answer is to build a multi-agent system. And this workflow shows you exactly how that's done. A user puts in their travel request, and an orchestrator immediately breaks that big goal into smaller pieces. It assigns the hotel booking to one specialist agent, finding activities to another, and picking restaurants to a third. They all work at the same time. And then another agent combines everything into one perfect itinerary. And we're already seeing this AI team-up approach out in the wild. You've got AI scrum teams for building software, or you could have an automated research group where one agent finds data, another one fact-checks it, and a third writes the report. It's happening now. So how does a whole team of AIs work together without stepping on each other's toes? Well, you need a good manager, right? You need a smart orchestrator to direct the whole show. And this orchestrator has a pretty clear management style. First, a planner agent acts like a project lead, breaking the big goal down into smaller tasks. Then, a router agent is like the dispatcher, sending each task to the best specialist for the job. And finally, a judge agent acts as quality control, looking at all the work and picking the best result. And these parts are getting seriously smart. The router agent, for instance, doesn't just blindly pick a tool. It uses this two-pass system where it first thinks about the problem in a private space, almost like talking to itself, before it makes a final, logical decision on what to do. Now, all of this sounds unbelievably powerful, and it is, but it also brings up a really big question. As these systems get more and more autonomous, how in the world can we trust them? I mean, can we really let these complex thinking systems loose in environments where the stakes are high? What happens if they mess up? The absolute biggest problem we face is hallucination. That's when an LLM just makes stuff up, but says it with total confidence. It might not even be able to count the stars on the American flag, as you see here, but it will present its wrong answer like it's gospel truth. So to fix this, any agent system that's ready for the real world uses a verification pipeline. Here's how it works. One agent goes and retrieves factual info from a trusted source. Then, a synthesizer agent writes an answer using only that information. And finally, a verifier agent triple checks that the answer is accurate and properly cited. It's checks and balances for AI.
So when you put all of these pieces together, the brain, the tools, the teams, and all the safety nets, what does this new agentic future actually look like?
The big thing to take away here is that we're not just building fancier tools for people to use anymore. We're building intelligent, autonomous systems that can do complex jobs, work together, and even watch over and protect themselves.
And that leaves us with one last really interesting thought. As these AI agents get more and more capable, they stop being just tools, and they start becoming our digital coworkers. Which begs the question, in this new world of work, who or what is going to be the boss?